All right, so does that mean we're live? Okay, it says we're live streaming, so I'm assuming that is what is going on here. Let me just double check. So what we're looking at is the GitHub page for what we're going to work on, which is procedure. Yes, okay, looks like we are. Perfect. Let me make sure. All right. So we got audio. Okay. My apologies. Still trying to figure out how to do this. So procedure versus platform gaming. So when we looked yesterday, we're looking in Unity for. Yesterday here we're doing the layers for the tile mapping, and so basically I added a couple scripts from the past that I had been compiling from other YouTube videos and hacking them together to see what works and rewriting it to make it happen. And I'm not sure where I got the player movement and all these other scripts from, but what appeared from the tile mapping is had a sorting layer. And so we're gonna look at that, adding a player to the tile mapping. And since then, kind of found that it's a little bit unnecessary. So as we can see from yesterday, we go here. We can take this, and then we can kind of add. You can see the player there. We can kind of add some different layers. I actually have two different layers, but the point is when we press play. Okay, so that's what I've been working on next, is those two, what you're looking at there. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off, because we're gonna work on that in a new file. But the point is, from a top-down view, we got player movement and we have the sorting layer. So anyway, the point is that you can add the different layers here. Okay, so that was yesterday. So since then, I added a couple more bits of information, and so we're going to work on that. So I'm going to open that folder, that file in Unity here, and I have up here on GitHub, I put the two different text files. Okay, so we're going to look at these text files, procedure platform. Okay, so these text files right here, we can go to the GitHub. I have GitHub, my name, for this particular one. I'm going to look inside of it. I have platform generation text file, so we can go to raw, Control A, Control C. We can go ahead here. I'm going to add a new C# script, which was what? My gosh. What was it? Procedural platform generation, right? Platform generation. Okay. And then we're going to right click. And we're going to simply copy paste. Now I'm going to put in the link where I got Control A, Control. Okay, so now the 32 bits isn't being very helpful, not responding. So I'm going to put in the link from a YouTube source on procedural generation for the tile map. And what I found is that the tile map is totally unnecessary if you're going to be randomly generating a kind of platforms. So what I want to do is compare the two different ideas of procedure versus generation, or procedure versus platform. Sorry, Control A, Control V. Right here you can see we have the platform generation. These two are going to be very similar, files. And let's see, that was platform generation. And we'll go to procedure generation. Procedural generation. Right here, we're going to add it. Right click, create C# script, procedural generation. Okay. Okay. Procedural generation. All right. So that should be good. Now, what we're going to look at are two different ways of generating basically what I'm talking about. So we're going to create an empty game object, and we'll call one platform, and I'm going to move here. Let's see here, because I can't see. Should be able to see there. And the other one I'm going to call procedure. Okay. All right. I'm going to reset the component, reset the transforms, right click, reset. I'm not sure if it'll make a difference in this case, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to go ahead and close this tab for the tile palette, because guess what? We're not using it. Oh, that's weird. The inspector is being bizarre. What? Oh, because of the spacing. There we go. Because I'm trying to stick this up into the corner here so you can see it. I changed my screen resolution, well, render screen resolution, and it makes it very hard to work with Unity, because you do want to have kind of a, it seems to be hard-coded in the pixels for the interface, so that's why it looks scrunched up, because it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, we're on platform here, I'm just going to drag and drop the platform there, and you see width, height, minimum height, maximum height, repeat number, which is the key here, and then I'm going to make 3 game objects: dirt, grass, and stone. I'll show you in a second. Procedure. We're going to add it right there: dirt, grass, and stone. But I'm going to do them in different colors so we can compare the two. So what I'm going to do, basically, we'll do the 3. So right click. We'll do 2D object sprite, square. We'll do dirt, and we'll give it kind of a dirt color, right? Maybe yellowish right there. Boom. I'm going to make it a prefab. Nice. And once you make a prefab, you can delete it. Now this is in the, I'll just do the next one to show you. It's scale, we're keeping it 1:1. This is the very simplest, not artistic, but it is useful when you're going to create a kind of object to test. So dirt, grass, I'll create some grass here, give it that color, make it a prefab by dragging it into the project folder. That's how you make a prefab. That way it deletes out of the screen. And stone, 2D object sprite, square, stone. We can go ahead and give it whatever stone color is, maybe just a dark color. All right. And then we're going to do platform right here, dirt and grass. I'm going to give them different colors, so I'm going to create different ones. 2D object sprite, square, dirt 2. What should dirt 2 look like? Should it, I don't know, maybe like that. Okay. We just want to be able to differentiate the two dirts and the two different grasses. And then this one looked like kind of bright, so maybe, let's see, 2D object sprite, square, grass 2. Bluegrass? How about that? That looks kind of cool. All right, we're going to do an aqua colored grass for grass 2. Boom. Okay. So on the platform, let's look. Let's do some numbers that relate to my source, which I'm going to put in the link below after the live stream. And hopefully, this is our version of science, where we build off of others' past work. But really, I'm not sure what I'm going to build. So a lot of, this is my way of referencing, of being academically honest in what we're doing here. Building a game without, again, the useless AI. That is the concept. From simple rules. At the beginning, you'll see what it generates. But what are those rules? I have no idea. So repeat number. Here's the key when we're talking about the difference between a platformer, basically, when you have long horizontals. We'll just show you dirt 2 because we're doing this one, grass 2. Okay. I'm going to press play and you're going to see what that script generated. Yeah, that's what it generated. But guess what? I'm going to press it again, press play again, and it's going to generate randomly a different one. Now, let's see if this works. If I go, should do it in the middle. No, it doesn't do it. So only because usually in the inspector you can change things, but not if it's it has to run the script again to run a random generator, right? So if yeah, of course not. That would not make sense. But we can keep changing it. There we go. Okay, now here's the key. Repeat number, you saw those were 3. They were always 3, I believe. Let's see. Yeah. The repeat number is always the same. The platform, except for this one. Okay. The point is, if we do 0, you're going to see there's no offset, basically. Right here. Boom. Okay. What does that look like? That looks like a procedurally generated random platform. So let's see what the compare and contrast. All right. So we're going to do the same numbers to get an idea. Height 15. Minimum stone height, we'll do 20, maximum 5, yeah. Okay, and then the dirt, we should be able to, no, it doesn't, okay. Procedure, dirt, we'll just go ahead and drag it in. Grass, go ahead and drag it in, and stone, okay. Now, they're going to be on top of each other, but we will compare and contrast the colors. Okay, they both have the same kind of logic. If we look at platform, you can see repeat number 0, right? So if I run it again, right, they're different. But you can see the huge difference between the platformer and the procedural. The procedural logic is, which we can see in the script, if you want to look in detail in GitHub, is that it only moves relative, one space up or down relative to the previous, to the next. So it doesn't have these platforms have huge jumps, right? So that's clearly the difference. So if we put the repeat number from 0 to 5, on the repeat number, it'll look more like a platform. There you go. Now we can see it overlaps the two. Okay. Could I, yeah, so you can actually move them in the scene one at a time. Very tricky. Okay, we don't want to do it like that. Now I can add, let's add a circle, give it Box collider, why not? And a rigid body. Okay. And then if we go ahead and go in to dirt 2, grass 2, this is where we can, right? So we're in the, we don't need to open the prefab, but we're in the prefab. And so I can add component rigid body 2D. All right, so if we go back to the circle, kind of lift it up a little bit, press play, it should fall and interact with, oh dear. What did I add? Grass 2, component rigid body. So what we don't want to do is add gravity to, and you can see it fell at the same. We don't want the grass falling with gravity. Let's see if it interacts. What I forget. Grass 2 also needs a collider. Rigid body, I didn't put a collider. We'll put a box collider. Okay. Now it should work. And so, test this so when we generate new, oh dear. What happened? That's new. I put the rigid body. I didn't know I had to constrain it. That's kind of cool though. Let's look here. Let's put it here. Run that again. I didn't expect that. I guess the force behind it. That's so cool. It keeps going with the force behind it. We don't want that. What do I need to do? What did I miss? That's interesting. I don't want to constrain it. Well, I could do that. Could constrain it. Okay. Where is that? The mass constraints. Freeze position. All right, let's see if this messes it up. This is the part of adding where you're not sure how. Yeah. That's normal. Okay. So I wanted to do the top-down player movement like I did in the other Unity file. But any interact between different 2D, then 2D top-down, then 2D platformer. And so I guess the next step, since this is kind of has some inherent value I'm finding already, is to just go from here and kind of generate some interactivity off of this, and perhaps whenever it goes to the next level, it'll just repeat a new geometry here. That's one way to go, right? And that's all. That's the only part, is it'll be a graphic difference. The interface won't be that different, so that's okay, you know. But maybe not the most interesting. Anyway, that's what I got for now. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section, and then we can go from there. Thank you so much, and see you soon. Bye for now.